Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today with the topic on the 2016 YPASM Antarctic Expedition and conducting research with Korea Polar Research Institute, KOPRI. For your information, YPASM will start the call for proposals 2025 on 1st November 2024 until 31st January 2025. This year, all applications will be made online via an online system, and we will no longer accept manual submission, which was previously done via email. Therefore, in October, we will have a briefing session on application guidelines, including announcement of the 2025 theme, and then we will go through the system and show you how to fill the forms and the documents required. In preparation of the call, YPASM, with the help of NRC, is organizing multiple webinar and online workshops from July until September, including this month's webinar series on experiences and challenges of Malaysian polar research, followed by next month's workshop on crafting a feasible polar research proposal with few experienced polar researchers. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Wan Muhammad Rauhan from School of Fisheries and Aquaculture, University Malaysia Terengganu, to begin sharing his experience participating in 3 different Antarctic expeditions. He is the recipient for 2012 YPASM Fellowship Scheme and 2019 Research Grant. He is the current Deputy Director of National Antarctic Research Centre, or NRC. So, Dr. Rahan, you may share your screen.
Okay, thank you, Intan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon. Firstly, I would like to thank YPSM for inviting me to share my experience on the Antarctic research, and especially Encik Syukur, and thank you for everyone for being here in this session. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me share my screen. Right, as advertised in the poster, so I'm going to share about the Antarctic expedition in 2016 when I joined with the other 7 other fellow researchers from Malaysia, and also my collaborative works with Korea Polar Research Institute. And by the way, my name is Wan Muhammad Rauhan Wan Hussein. I'm a lecturer in Faculty of Fisheries and Food Science in University Malaysia Terengganu, as well as the Deputy Director of the National Antarctic Research Centre. So as you may know, that a lot of people who go to Antarctica, they normally go with and attached to any station in Antarctica, whether with the Korean, with the British, with Japan, and many other countries, Australia in the east. But this is slightly a different approach or different way to go to Antarctica when 8 of us from different universities went to Antarctica by yacht. So this is the Australis yacht. It's a small yacht, very, very small. If you compare to when you want to cross the Drake Passage, that takes normally between 3 to 5 days, 1,000 kilometers from Ushuaia to the Antarctic Peninsula. So this is the layout of the yacht. So they have 9 rooms, 9 bedrooms, and kitchen very small. And then so this is the outside view of the yacht. It's quite comfortable because you can do a lot of works on the deck, although it's quite limited space. So what are the advantages of going to Antarctica or do the research in Antarctica using this RV Australis? Yeah, although this is actually a yacht, but as when we went there in 2016, the owner of the yacht, Ben Wallace, he was trying to change his yacht to be the research vessel by adding more the equipments like winch to deploy and take the deploy and also the equipments like the heavy equipments like racks. So I think now this his yacht now is considered as a research vessel, a small research vessel. So when we went there in 2016, January 2016, so this is a chartered. So it was all Malaysian. It doesn't really need to be all Malaysian or just a single nationality. It can be uh, um, you and other fellow researchers, random researchers from other countries. But it happened to be at that time YPSM arranged a expedition, and it was a collection of researchers who received the research grant. So what are the advantages of this type of expedition? First one is can be tailor-made to our research needs in terms of date, duration, types of research, etc. So at that time we had different researchers with different research interests. And also it can cover larger spatial scale of research. When we go to one station, like myself, when I went first time in King Sejong Station in 2013-14. So I was only stayed only in King Sejong Station. There was no opportunity for me to visit or to take samples to other stations or other islands nearby the Antarctic Peninsula. And third one is yeah, you have different experience and challenges. The challenge is yeah, it's a very memorable experience. And what are the disadvantages? First one is can be very expensive. I don't know the cost now, but if you want to find out, you have to contact the owner of the yacht, Ben Wallace, through the website. And the space is quite limited for sample handling because you saw the yacht just now. It's quite small. If it had yeah, at the time it happened to be only out of eight, only four people needs the space to process the sample on the deck. But what about if all eight need the deck to process the sample? So it might be more challenging. And also, it's uncomfortable to work if you have the seasick. Of course, if you have seasick, it's going to be very uncomfortable. But believe me, uh, during the on the way to Antarctica, at that time we had to return back after a few hours journey, and not even enter the open sea, open ocean. We had to retreat, and then from Ushuaia, Argentina, we had to find a shelter in Chile because of the very bad weather conditions. So that was very challenging. And sometimes some of us, or maybe most of us, said that we're not going to repeat it again. But when we arrived in Antarctica, everything changed. So our spirit changed, and then yeah, we can say that yeah, we might give it another go to go with this yacht. So the journey that we took last time in 2016 from KL to Dubai to Buenos Aires and Ushuaia. If you go with research with the maybe Chilean, Korean, and China with the China, so you might need to go. The port of departure is in Punta Arenas, Chile, but with this yacht, the port of departure is Ushuaia. So from KL, Dubai, Buenos Aires, and we end up in Ushuaia. And after 2 or 3 days, I can't really remember, of the acclimatization. So we travel uh, with this Australis from to cross the Drake Passage. So what is the Drake Passage famous for? So this is, I think, the very harsh ocean, and this is also famous because our Datuk Azhar Mansur, who sailed solo sailor around the world. Yeah, he got his yacht's mast broken in Drake Passage, and his travel also disrupted in Drake Passage. So it was 2.5 days sailing from Ushuaia, 1,000 kilometers to Antarctic Peninsula. And then after that, we arrived in King's Haven Station. So although this is technically it is hard, most of I mean entire time we should be on the yacht, but because I had a connection with the Korean beforehand, so I already arranged that we uh, collect some consumables, some chemicals from the Korean research station, King City Station, and interestingly they give it all free. All the chemicals, yeah, just basic chemicals like formaldehyde, the tunnel and the chemicals, and also some small consumables. They give it all free for us, and then give it. They also had us 2 nights on the uh, 2 nights, and also I was returned back 1 night in their station, also for free of charge. So these are all the expedition members. Prof. Muhammad Zaini Yusuf from YPASM on the electromagnetic research. Associate Professor Muhammad Shahrul Muhammad Azir, Inspired Science. Associate Professor Dr. Fung Siu Yok from USM, Marine Ecologist. Associate Professor Dr. Kuh Tian Lai, Geologist from UKM. Myself, sorry, Dr. Aminah Muzalina Mustafa. At the time, she was with Himalaya. Now she is in UMT. And two postgraduate students, Mr. Muhammad Gila Muhammad Zainuddin. He was at that time a master student of Dr. Sazlina Muhammad Saleh from USM. And also Miss Anika Zulfa Abdul Latif from IMU. She was at that time postgraduate master student of Dr. Wong from IMU. So this is some of the pictures to show you how it looks on the expedition with the Antarctic. Yeah, all the happy faces because I don't put all this the face or the condition when we had a terrible seasick on the yacht. So here in the Ushuaia port, and this is when we finished taking samples in Paradise Bay in Antarctica. Here in the on the Deception Island, myself and Dr. Shahrul. Here, myself collecting samples in Danpo Coast, also with Antarctic Peninsula. And this yacht also equipped with the rubber dinghy. So this is one of the advantages as well. So it's difficult for you to take samples from the yacht on board. You can anytime ask the skipper to use the rubber dinghy to collect your samples. So here myself and Ben collecting the microbenthos samples, microbenthos specimen from nearby the area. So here is the amphipod, one of the crustacean, quite a big size compared to tropical amphipod that we can find in tropical country. And here is when we visit or we stop by the King's Haven Station to stay 1 night and also to prepare our equipment, prepare our samples or to label our bags and containers. So yeah, and also to get to collect the consumables and also chemicals that have already pre-arranged before we went start our journey from KL. And here myself on the Deception Islands, sorry, on the Trinity Islands. Okay, so a lot of people, yeah, most interesting, a lot of people might be interested to know about the cost. So these are the costs for hiring the yacht at that time in 2016, almost 10 years ago. So please note that the cost might be changed now. So It depends on the how many of us. So if it's 6 person, it's going to be more expensive. If 7 persons, it's slightly cheaper. And if you can find maximum 9 researchers, so it's going to be the cheapest option. And then the airfare, the accommodation, not so much on the accommodation because we stay on the yacht most of the time, on the meals and travel insurance. So altogether around 64, or maybe I can say if we take into consideration the currency now, so we can safely say it's around 80,000 ringgit together for the expedition. So I know this is quite big figures, considering that when you uh, apply for the research grant, the maximum that you can get is, I guess, it's 150K. So you need to really uh, calculate your the expenses. But to do the research in Antarctica, I think the most that you can that you have to spend is in Antarctica. Other than that, it's gonna be the minor things. Okay, if you want to find more info on the Yosh in or the RV Australis, you can go to their website or just type the RV Australis, or the website is Ocean Expeditions. So they have now over it's very safe, I can say. It's very safe because they are very experienced. Ben himself has been to Antarctica since he was 18 or 17, followed his dad, and ever since he has been skipping the yacht back and forth via Antarctica. He's originally from New Zealand, but because of the very frequent, or maybe every year, every season he goes to Antarctica, he can speak Spanish without without learning at school or any other institution. So since 1997, and they had now up to now 141 voyages to and from Antarctica. Okay, the second part of this sharing session is on my collaboration with the Polar Research Institute, and mainly on the Arctic expedition to King Station Station. I went to King Station Station 3 times. The first one, when I had first collaboration with Dr. Anne In Yang from Polar Research Institute. She is the first Korean woman scientist that went to Antarctica in 1970s. Oh, no, sorry, 1995, if I'm not mistaken. So, how did I get end up with this collaboration? So after uh, uh, I received the fellowship in 2012. In 2012, that year, YPASM was launched, and there was no research grant at that time. There were only fellowships that were awarded to 3 persons, including myself. So we received 100,000 that year for the fellowship. So after I received the fellowship, I just browse through the internet and then find the collaborators, like when I was looking for my PhD supervisors after for my supervisors for my PhD study. So and I end up emailing Dr. Anne Yang, and then fortunately, our research expertise and research interests complement each other. So she invited me to present my proposal in KOPRI in July 2013. And after discussion, I stayed there 1 week, 5 days, and how we can complete each other. Uh, she emailed me that she wanted to invite me to join her research team to Antarctica from December 2013 to February 2014. So how long the duration that you're going to spend in Antarctica, it depends really on your collaborators. Sometimes it can be 3 weeks. Sometimes it can be 1 month, or even almost 3 months. It depends on your supervisor, on your collaborators. It depends on your project, the nature of your project. So I can't really say exactly how long that you need to expect to be in Antarctica. So here is King Sejong. It's not too far from Chilean Station. Uh, but to be in King Sejong, you need to fly. So the journey can be uh, varies, maybe from KL to Dubai to Santiago, or maybe KL to Sydney. Last time I went to Sydney, from KL to Sydney, then Sydney to Santiago, and Santiago to Punta Arenas, and Punta Arenas to Antarctica. Okay, and because Dr. An Yang, she got a big research grant, so I didn't pay any single cent or ringgit at that time. She even paid my ticket from Terengganu to KL, KL to Sydney, Sydney to Santiago, Santiago to Punta Arenas, and also the chartered flight from Punta Arenas to Antarctica. And to stay in Antarctica for 2.5 months, also there was no charge at all. So I only pay for my clothing and for the foods. So that's why I managed to go second time with the team on the expedition by the yacht, because I still got extra money after my first visit to Antarctica with Dr. An Yang. So this is area view of King Sejong Station. Here is the wharf and the power plant, and this is the main building, the summer research. Sorry, this is the main building where they have normally they have 18 overwinter member. Overwinter member means the members that stay 1 year, one cycle. So they comprises of scientists, technician, engineers, medical doctors, and so on. But even if they are engineer or a technical person, they are obliged, or they are tasked with helping the researchers during the summer. So other researchers come and go to King Sejong Station during the summer. So they can this station can accommodate around 70 to 80%, 80 researchers. Normally they have extra beds to for other researchers who come maybe for a short term, or like us when we in 2016 when we stopped by for 1 night or 2 nights. So they normally have extra rooms. And this is the main buildings when they have kitchen, labs. Here this is the summer research center where they have lab. The other buildings are meant for maintenance, machine storage, heavy gear storage, emergency shelters. So this is where we normally use these two buildings. So you might wonder what kind of research that you can do with the Korean. So research activity mainly on climate change, marine science, atmospheric, ozone layer, paleoclimate. So it's very diverse. But unfortunately, they don't really have researchers on the social science. They only have one or two social scientists that work with KOPRI. So it's quite maybe it's quite difficult to if you want to collaborate with the Korean the KOPRI if you do the research on social science. If you do on this research activity, research interest research team, so I think you can always try your luck with KOPRI. They also have researchers that do a lot of research on Antarctic penguin. Okay, after Dr. Anin Yang, my second collaborative work with Korea is with Dr. Hassan Yong. Yeah, when I received the research grant in 2020, I wanted to try the other station, to go to other stations. I'll email the Argentinian, I email the Bulgarian, or even the Turkish, many other countries. And I just didn't want to ask Korean first because I want to have a different experience. But yeah, I didn't get any positive response, or maybe just keep waiting the response. So eventually I tried to contact the Korean, and luckily I found Dr. Ha San Yong, who had kind of similar research interest with myself, but he is more on the biochemistry. But he has part of his research is on the macrobentos, which is my main research area on the animals that live in the sediments. So after almost maybe around 6 or 7 months uh, exchange emails, he finally said that yeah, myself and my student can follow his team to Antarctica. So he has four team members. This is Dr. Ha, this is Dr. Juo, and this two postgraduate students. So we joined their team to Antarctica, and the journey also from from Kuala Lumpur to end up in Punta Arenas to take the chartered flight. But this time it's got slightly different, because last time, when we talked to Anin Yang, she had a big research grant, so I didn't spend too much. But this time, yeah, I had to pay everything. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the cost after this. So our research is mainly on the in Marine Cove, so we cannot go anywhere, just Marine Cove. This is what I said, disadvantage of station-based research. If you go on the yacht or small ship or even big vessel, you can go to different places to take samples. But if you're station-based, you just end up at one place and just take the samples in this area. So very small spatial scale. And but you can do a lot of works here because you've got 1 or 2 months solid to do anything that you want to do. And we have a sampling at 15 sessions in Mangrove Cove, West Atlantic Peninsula. And the equipment that we use mainly the CTD, conductivity, temperature, and depth to measure the seawater characteristics, and also to use grab to collect the sediment samples. And on top of the rubber dinghy that they also have the aluminium boats for samples collection. But to be honest, I think I prefer the rubber dinghy to collect the samples, or the RV Australis, because it's more comfortable. But this aluminium boat is very uncomfortable, and also it's very limited space to do some work. The requirements to go with them. So now, before this, they're not really stringent on the training requirements, but now they put the requirements that we have to have a fire safety, at least fire safety, sea survival, and first aid certificates or training. But luckily, this can be done anywhere. So I did mine in Terengganu. So it didn't cost a lot. I suppose if you need to go to, if you like with the bus, with this Antarctic survey, you have to go to Cambridge to do your training. But with the Korean, they just need the minimum requirements. Just do anywhere that is nearby your place to get this certificate. But the cost is might be is different depending on the company or risk or training institute that you do this training. So I spent, I think, around 3,200 ringgit for all these three certificates. And the budget. All right. The cheapest option for your flight to go to Chile, I can say, is to go through United States. Because when I checked, I bought the ticket quite late, because as a university lecturer, you had to have permission from the ketua her KPT first as a confirmation, and you had to wait for that before buying the ticket. So I bought maybe less than 1 month before the flight date. So the ticket, if you manage to buy slightly early, it can be very slightly cheaper. But I found a Air France ticket, which is the cheapest outside the United States option. So it was 10,000. The cost is 10,000 ringgit return ticket. Times two is because I bring my student here. But the cost is this for myself 10,270 ringgit from Kuala Lumpur to Santiago. But if you go with through Miami, I think it's around, it was at that time it was around 7,000 return ticket from KL to Paris, Miami or LAX. It's still cheaper than through Paris. And this is also cheaper if you compare to the shorter route from KL to Dubai or Dubai to Santiago, which costs around 15,000 at that time. And then ticket from Santiago to PUQ is Punta Arenas. So this is also dependent on the dates. So it cost me around 2,500 ringgit and 1,800 ringgit for the return ticket. Sometimes normally we don't buy return ticket too early because we can't be very sure when are we going to be I mean are we going to return from Antarctica. But you can buy, you have to put extra plus minus 2 or 3 days for your ticket. And then Singapore Punta Arenas, this time I need to buy, I need to pay for this DAP chartered flight. So it cost me around, it cost me 17,023 ringgit single ticket from Punta Arenas to Antarctica. And then another around 20,000 ringgit from Antarctica to Punta Arenas for one person. So it costs more than the my return flight from KL to Santiago. This from Punta Arenas, although it's only 2.5 hours from Punta Arenas to Antarctica. So these are the main costs that you need to consider when applying for the grants, when you do your budgets. The other cost is not really much. So domestic tickets, ground transport from in Punta Arenas to the hotel and hotel to the airport. And the accommodation, these are the cost for accommodation in Punta Arenas for 2 nights is around 700 or 800 in Santiago. So it wasn't that too much. So I think the main thing that you need to consider is this the flight ticket from KL to Punta Arenas or maybe Ushuaia, and how to get from the port of departure to Antarctica. If you're lucky, your collaborators might say that you don't need to pay for the chartered flight from Punta Arenas to Antarctica. But if you're not lucky, like myself, second time, so you had to pay. But yeah, better to put this in your proposal. So how to collaborate with the KOPRI? Really, any researchers can collaborate as long as you have suitable collaborators, and you need to find prospective collaborators through KOPRI website or through friends, etc. And I always welcome anyone to ask me. I need to ask help from myself to find or I mean to connect with the KOPRI persons. And discussion might be lengthy and sometimes confusing due to language barriers. For myself, the first time with Dr. Anin Yang, it was very smooth because she graduated she did her PhD in the States, United States. So it was very smooth, very clear discussion. But the second time with Dr. Hassan Yong, there many times that I misunderstood, and also he misunderstood what we were trying to say, even on the email. And yeah, although it's much better on the in the email because it's written, but sometimes through the video call, uh, there are a lot of misunderstandings between both parties. So maybe if you want to uh, collaborate with the Korean, it's better to have everything written. So what was the impact of this misunderstanding? First, because I thought that when he invited me, myself and my student to go to Antarctica with his team, I thought that every time we can join his team's work on the boat. But apparently, when we arrived in Antarctica, we had to find ourselves time, and we had to find a boat by ourselves. Not find a boat, but just find see the timetables and ask the session masters if we can do some works. But most of the schedules or most of the slots has been filled because the Korean already booked in advance, and the boat session masters no, normally they don't put I mean every day on the timetable because in 1 month you are in Antarctica. Normally there's normally around 10 to 15 times or 15 days that the weather permit you to go to do some boat works. So when I was in the King's session, it was quite frustrated because I thought that we can go to the sea every time this team go to the sea, but apparently we are not allowed to because they have other persons to follow as well. So yeah, you better have everything discussed or written in the email rather than if you discuss on through video call, Google Meet or any kind of video call. And other thing, the hospitality in King Senior Station is free of charge. So whether you stay 1 day, 3 days, or 1 month, or 3 months, so they don't charge you anything. Just charge you the flight from Punta Arenas to Antarctica. So once you are in the Antarctica, you don't need to worry about your money. Even if your flight back from Antarctica to Punta Arenas is delayed, maybe 3 days or 5 days or even 1 week because of the weather, but your cost doesn't, yeah, you don't end up, you don't add the cost. And how many person? Because this is quite new for me. And now the KOPRI wants at least you bring one person with you because they don't want you to rely too much on the overwintering members. Like myself, when I go with, that's why they asked me to bring my student, and also they allow me to be, I was quite surprised when they allowed me to bring my student. And in fact, they asked me to bring my student because so that I don't need to rely on the overwintering member. Overwinter member, like I said, 18 people that stay 1 year in that session. So this is now it's quite I'm not sure whether this is obligation or not, but they say it's much better if we bring another person, another our colleague with us to go there, so we can do our own works and they can do their own works, unless if you had yeah a discussion beforehand that you're gonna be in the team, included in the team, and then you're gonna go sampling together all the time. So I think that's fine. But when I asked a few person there, they said that yeah, Malaysian can come anytime because they had a very good experience with Malaysian before. So they are welcome to Malaysian, but please don't come alone, but you need to come at least 2 person. That's what when I asked a few principal scientists, principal investigators in King Sejong when I was there last time. So I'm not sure whether your budget would allow you to bring student, or maybe the best thing is to discuss with the fellow recipients to so that you can go together to this on at the same station and do different works. So you might uh, help your friends and your friends help you in return. So I think that's all. Briefly about the collaboration with KOPRI and the cost. I think already told you the cost. So I hope that this clear things up about the research grant and what to expect from the 150K maximum budget they can get from research grant. Okay, I welcome any question if anyone want to ask.
Any question? You can just go unmute and ask Dr. Rahan directly. Dr. Rahan, maybe you can share the difference going to Antarctic before and after COVID. Ada significant difference tak? Macam in terms of entry requirement ke SOP?
Because I went there in 2023. It was 3 years after 3 years post COVID. So there was too much difference. There's no what we call physical distance or anything. There's no mask requirements. Yeah, they only ask you to wear the mask when you are I mean on the way to Antarctica from the hotel to the airport in Punta Arenas, because and also in the flight. But they're not very strict with the mask. They just ask you to put your mask, always put a mask on during the in the transport from hotel to the airport and in the airport and in the flight, because at that time they yeah you mix with other researchers from other countries. Like last time, besides the Korean, we have the Chinese, we had a few Chilean, and also from the European as well. But the other countries they didn't wear masks. So I think that's only different. And the training requirement, I think it's nothing to do with the COVID, because maybe they try to improve their safety regulations. Last time when I went, I didn't need to do the safety regulations, so the safety training, but the health checkup, medical checkup. So it depends. You have to do, but it's not really thorough checkup. Just basic medical checkup you can do. I did myself in Pusat Kesehatan University, so as long as there's a signature and stamp from a medical doctor, so that's fine.
The new question from the chat box daripada Dr. Siti Hawa Ngalim. In terms of research types, what kind that you have heard of? Anything related to genetic protein studies? And then what else there in Antarctica? I mean, microbe, animal type.
I think the microbacteria, I think these are maybe the most famous biological research that Malaysian do, because it's maybe the accessibility. Once you be on the station, you for a bacteria, especially soil bacteria, you've got all the time in the world with you to collect the samples, soil samples, for your research. Or if you just need to collect water samples along the coast. So yeah, you're so lucky because you don't need to go on the boat. So you can do all this research in King Sejong. They've got quite uh, well-equipped laboratory. So they have people who do research on genetics, on organic carbon, on microbiology, phytoplankton, zooplankton, and other the physical sciences science works. What else there in Antarctica? I mean, microbes. Yeah, microbes. A lot of Malaysians also do microbes research. Animal types. There are only penguins, seals, and a few birds like squaw. So there are not too many species of animals in Antarctica. But myself, I do research on the animals that live in the sediment or on the sediments. So we got pretty much the same set of animals in Antarctica in polar environment uh, as compared to the tropic environments. The difference is maybe in terms of biodiversity is not too much diverse in Antarctica compared to in tropical countries, and also there's no there's no coral reef. There are corals, a few types of corals in Antarctica, cold water coral, but there's no reef building coral, no hard coral, just soft corals. So that's a kind of difference uh, of the underwater animals in Antarctica and also in tropics.
So for Dr. Siti Hawa, I believe that you are a new researcher, new polar researcher. If you're interested to conduct any polar research, you must get an international collaborator kan. Tapi on top of it, kita juga highly encourage you to get a local and active local researcher that can help you maybe with the access of the sample. So instead of terus nak pergi, maybe you can try to use the existing sample yang available in Malaysia so that you can conduct the preliminary studies and get the result to support your proposal nanti. Any other question?
And for Dr. Siti Hawa, you can browse through the YPSM recipients because there you can find the research topics. I think it's a lot of research or recipients do the same works that as you are interested in proteins or genetics. I think you can easily find anyone, but unfortunately not not myself.
Uh, and also if you need help to connect with them, you can just email YPSM and let us know what kind of your field of studies and what kind of collaborator that you need, then kita boleh tolong carikan with the local and also international collaborator for you.
One question, Dr. Rahan.
Yeah, Cik Syukur.
How you're talking about how about the food? Is it halal or you
Okay.
have your own food, or you bring
Uh,
some raw, I don't know, food from Malaysia or something?
yeah. I didn't put the other. I mean the life in King Sejong because I thought that maybe a lot of people are more interested on the how to collaborate. But yeah, apparently this is quite a critical issues. But don't worry because the Korean they eat rice every day. If you are Malaysian, normally we want to eat rice, not the potato. But the Korean they eat rice every day. The foods are served in the cafeteria or in the kitchen. They have cook, they have assistant chef, so you don't need to cook by yourself. Just told them that what kind of meals that you need. Just order your uh, halal requirements. There, of course, definitely there's no halal, but you can just eat a rice with kimchi or
Seafood.
vegetables. And if on the menu on the day is a seafood, then you can have it.
I see. Thank you, thank you.
And there's also the a lot of bread. Then not that much if you compare with the European or the Americans that they have breads that you can have during breakfast if you don't want to eat rice. And they have a lot of noodles in the kitchen and also in the accommodation buildings. And they have a lot of hot plates that you can cook your noodles or cook the rice. they've got everything so that their researchers can feel comfortable as like they are at home in Korea. And they have washing machines, maybe 4 or 5 washing machines. So you don't need to queue to wash your clothes. And they have gyms. They have proper shower rooms, like in the hotel, the hot shower, or the cubicles and other stuff.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rohan.
Any other question? Okay, letak Dr. Rahan's email in the chat box. You guys can email Dr. Rahan at any time if you have further question related to whatever he presented today.
Yes, sorry, Intan. You can, although I said that just now that I'm not in, my research is not on the protein, but Dr. How you can, anytime you can email me to ask if I can help. Because before this, I also have to connect Dr. Ridwan from UTEM. He does research on lightning. So it's nothing to do with my research, but yeah, I know a few people from KOPRI from that go like every year to King Stadium Station. So maybe I can help. Okay, Tan.
Okay. Okay, thank you everyone, and especially Dr. Rahan for sharing such informative information today. We will upload the recording of today's session on YPSM's official YouTube. And if you haven't registered yet, please do so that we can have a record of your attendance, and then we can update you with more information for future events and webinar. The registration link is in the chat box. So thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Rahan.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Intan. Thank you, Syukur.
Thank you. Have
Have a
a
nice
good day. Cik Syukur, want to say something?
Thank you, Dr. Rohan. Thank you for
All right,
everything.
welcome.